Hi, I'm here with Lauren Dunford, CEO and co-founder of Guidewheel. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm great, Alicia. Thanks so much for making the time. Looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so to get us started, could you please tell us a bit about your role and how you fit into the manufacturing space?
Yeah, absolutely. CEO and co-founder of Guidewheel. I originally started building this company to support manufacturers because I was lucky enough to actually work for 5 years out of a fresh food manufacturing company. I will never forget what it felt like to stand in the parking lot and have to call our customers to tell them that we were not going to make their delivery in time because of our production issues again, and really just have massive respect for all of the hard work it is to transform raw material into product ready to be sold every day, and the hardworking teams that make possible everything we use in our daily lives. So, started the company to be able to support manufacturers in driving both productivity and also decarbonization at scale.
Oh, amazing. Obviously you've mentioned decarbonisation and productivity
Yep.
as your sort of main driving drivers. What do you see as the biggest sort of challenge today in the manufacturing space?
Yeah. What we see right now is there's a real focus on take the assets, the team, what you have, and be able to do more with what you have. So where Guidewheel plugs in is typically for uh, manufacturers with a number of plants, a number of assets that might not all be brand new or might have opportunity to do more with what they have. We help them really get visibility to support their teams and empower their teams to get the most out of those assets in a way that is remarkably scalable and fast and non-intrusive. You can think of it as kind of like Fitbit for factories. So instead of some big heavyweight, let's take months and do open heart surgery on your equipment and open up all sorts of cybersecurity risks, we instead leverage the fact that every machine uses power, and we can clip around the power going into any machine or component within it, kind of like a Fitbit clips around or a smartwatch clips around your wrist. And like the smartwatch uses your heartbeat, we can use the electrical heartbeat going in as a foundation, layer on lots of other sensor types, temp, humidity, vibration, whatever it might be after that, but a common universal heartbeat of every machine across all those assets is that first foundational layer. Then we put on top of that software and AI that gets predictive and guides in all sorts of awesome ways, and of course allow people to build and connect in on top as well. But the goal is take the assets you have and get more throughput out of them by reducing the controllable downtime in your operations.
So interesting. So predictive maintenance is often discussed because but quite rarely effectively. But rarely delivered effectively, sorry. How does Guidewell AI's AI-powered predictive maintenance system actually deliver on that promise?
Yeah, definitely. So predictive maintenance is actually typically only attacking a small portion of the total lost production time most manufacturers experience. It's very memorable. There are, big breakdowns. No one forgets that, and it's very, very sexy. Everyone knows about predictive maintenance, but you're right. It has not really moved the needle in the way that it might. What Guidewheel does is we say predictive maintenance is important, but actually not the spot we start. We start with AI powered factory ops, which is visibility to improve productivity through things that are a lot less sexy than the big breakdowns, like let's start shifts on time, let's put up real time scoreboards, green, yellow, red, visual factory, let's align people so everyone on the plant floor knows, did I win the hour, win the shift, win the day? With that kind of transparent, empowering, let's all share the same source of truth. Let's be able to use data in our morning meetings. Let's get alerts when things go down so we can react faster. All of that is fairly unsexy, but really valuable for the bottom line. Because if you can move utilization just 10 or 15 points, which is most factories can do, that can often double your profit margin. It's a huge impact because of this concept of operating leverage, doing more with the assets you have. We then build into that a predictive maintenance solution that does advanced anomaly detection. So this isn't going to catch every single thing. We think of it as it's called Scout, this algorithm. It's like a watchdog where, if it's great to have a watchdog. If the ears perk up and a watchdog starts barking, you should probably take a look. But the watchdog isn't going to be able to tell you exactly what's happening, exactly where. So Scout is seamless way of layering in anomaly detection on the system you already have across all that equipment and being able to, in a really easily interpretable way, so the team itself can be able to see why it triggered, raise its ears and start barking when there is something you should pay attention to. I was hearing, we work with a very large beverage manufacturer, and I heard last week they prevented a big problem because Scout, at exactly the right moment on one of the core lines, provided the right alert. And doing that type of thing, even though we don't promise to catch everything, is quite valuable, especially when combined with the ability to move the fundamentals of production from the lines that you already have.
Okay, and then so just touching on building on this in terms of future factory ops, um, looking ahead, what role do you see real-time machine visibility playing in shaping connected factory of the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're starting with attack controllable downtime, drive margin quickly. That's the starting point. Then we start getting into predicting those problems. Like Scout can predict if something is going to happen or something is off. Next, we start getting into guidance to be able to actually prescribe, recommend the right thing of guide that action. And that starts to become even more valuable because if you can be getting information from how people care for the assets, the maintenance technician who can just hear something's wrong with that machine, identify what it is, and that can be layered on top of that real-time time series data, it can get smarter and smarter at guiding exactly the right action as it learns from all the different equipment. Then what we start getting into is a world where we as Guidewheel want to be providing the real-time layer for the world's factories that any manufacturers and eventually an ecosystem of developers can build upon. So they don't have to reinvent the wheel every time of how do we get all this equipment into the cloud. They can build on a platform that talks nicely with other systems, makes it really easily interoperable, and allows them to build their own custom applications on top, in addition to getting the plug and play, reduce controllable downtime, predict, guide use case as well. And the vision is if we can, what we've built is remarkably scalable. So this is something where really truly it could become the pulse of every machine on the planet, all the important machines. So don't clip in the ones that aren't important. But being able to guide the right action and learn from all those machines really trains a physical AI, a combination of the IoT and the machine and the AI in the cloud that is more powerful than anything else because factories are the ones where they care most about the machines and can provide that best training data. So building towards pulse of every machine on the planet, working backwards from that real-time layer for the factories of the world, and really getting to a point where we're driving productivity with real business outcomes, and as part of that, embedding sustainability and decarbonization into all those workflows without people having to care about that side as a top priority.
Yeah, I wanted to build on the sustainability side as well in terms of potential. This may not be relevant, or it may be in terms of any sort of gaps in the market or tech that you're watching. Is there anything that's particularly exciting at the moment that you're really keeping a close eye on?
Yeah. On the sustainability side or overall in manufacturing?
Either or,
Yeah.
yeah, either or, maybe both.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go sustainability side first. I think there's so many awesome technologies to decarbonize. In many cases, also the sheer act of modernizing equipment is something that makes it more efficient. A cooling tower made today is often going to be a ton more efficient by 30, 40% than a cooling tower from 40 years ago. So that link of modernization is decarbonization is, I think, a really important one as well. There are also just so many neat things that pay for themselves. I was hearing the other day about a factory that was able to recycle food sugar into really wonderful things. So that type of thing is fantastic. I think what's needed in the market from a sustainability standpoint is that foundation of data to make the right decisions that right now is a lot of spreadsheets and lack of data. So that's where Guidewheel fits in of the data that we have is exactly what people will need to both size and finance any of these energy efficient pieces of equipment, solar, thermal batteries, whatever it might be, so you can actually make those decisions in a really data-driven way, which then accelerates everything in terms of the ability to take advantage of them, because most of these things do pay for themselves. On the manufacturing side overall, I think what I'm really interested in there is this concept of the human machine partnership and guidance where we have all these new streams of data within the factory. And if we can work together so that those can play nicely together in an ecosystem that helps people be more productive, more efficient, safer, all those things can be really powerful. The thing I'm kind of noticing there is a lot of times we talk about the machines and the sensors, but at the end of the day, everything is about people. Even as robots come in certain places and automation is the thing, there's still people running the robots. And so I'm also interested in ways that technology can equip manufacturing leaders to thoughtfully handle the coaching and the leadership challenges. And how do we implement a lean culture or think about leveraging best practices as leaders and as humans to get to work together? And I think that's going to be a really interesting area to watch as well.
Absolutely. I'm definitely quite interested in sort of the workforce empowerment side of the digital transformation journey, which sort of leads me on to talk about the reason why we are in contact today, and that is our Digital Manufacturing Strategy Summit. I understand, obviously, I know that you're one of our speakers, our expert speakers, and I just wanted to ask, without giving too much away, what can we sort of expect to hear from you at the summit in the US?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think one of the fun things I always want to do is make sure that I'm bringing the very latest and greatest from the types of advances in AI and technology that are possible now. So we'll have to wait till up to right before to be able to pull the very latest and greatest. It's getting crazier and more interesting by the day. But I'll make sure to bring in a lot of that. I'm in San Francisco, heart of Silicon Valley, and heart of where a lot of those conversations are happening. So I should have some fun stuff. Second, I think trying to make sure that we really stay practical about where are things that actually work, where are real stories of real people and examples of how to do this in a way where we're not saying, start with all the shiny stuff that sounds great in theory but doesn't work in practice. So you can expect some talk of changeover time and starting shifts on time and just regular best practices and how technology can fit in ways that are more fundamental, and how we're seeing manufacturers drive just stunning impact with some of those more foundational changes.
Excellent. I look forward to it.
It'll be
And just
fun.
probably lastly, whilst we've still got you, it, what sort of motivated you to come on board with for DMS USA? What are you hoping to get out of the event, and what are you looking forward to most?
Yeah, there has not been another time like the one that we're in at this exact moment. Technology is changing so quickly. We've got a bunch of different winds of change or waves of change within manufacturing and supply chain specifically. So I think there is no more important time to be coming together as thinkers, practitioners, folks trying to leverage technology for good within manufacturing. And this is a time, I think, when those conversations have to be live because the pace of change is such that there aren't books that there are books that are relevant to what we're experiencing now, but no one's written a book that includes all the things that we're seeing today. And so the way to learn about the latest and greatest is to be talking with each other. I can't wait to learn from the people there who will be sharing what they're doing, and the ability to come together and be sharing the latest and greatest, be helping each other, not need to reinvent the wheel every single time is really more important than ever in a moment like this.
Absolutely. I know that we're particularly excited from like an organizer's side of things to hear it's always a great atmosphere in the room, and having everyone come together in the small round tables and the challenges. There was a real group effort to share ideas and just help each other. So yeah, I'm also really looking forward to seeing what great ideas come out of the summit. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Lauren. This has been great. And I look forward to seeing you in Chicago.
Can't wait. Counting down the days.